What is going on, everybody? My name is Jack, and welcome back to another episode of the Syracuse Dynasty. In this episode, I'm going to give you guys a full season recap of everything that happened. So here we are against MSU, and a fumble recovery right off the bat. That's Large Ricard picking that up, taking it all the way back to the house. 4 turnovers on the game for the defense. Here's another one. Brandon Walters, the true freshman, getting the interception on the outside, getting down to the 20, and then Leonard Robinson take it over from there. Lindell Redmond all the way to the house, 19 yards for the touchdown reception. Now it's 21-14, and Carl Jones is going to make this even more difficult for Michigan State as he gets the interception, and then Robinson with 1:10 left into the end zone to take a 7-point lead. But MSU coming right down the field, and wide open like a Burger King drive-thru is Corley, and Corley makes this a tied game that's going to go into overtime. And here's Leonard Robinson, give it to Hank Ball, and these two running backs fought back and forth through overtime. However, finally, we will get the sack, and that game will be over. Hank Ball, 4 touchdowns on the game, and the defense, 4 turnovers, 57-49 in overtime. Now going into the Clemson game in the Carrier Dome, a rematch of last year where Syracuse and a freshman Leonard Robinson won, but they are much stronger this year. Here's Lonnie Weber for a 10-yard touchdown. They will do this game without Hank Ball out with the concussion, but the defense able to step up another 4 turnovers, 2 interceptions, and here's Cordell Hudson, his first of 2, and that's going to increase his draft profile right here as 17-10, make that 24-10. Leonard Robinson with 4 touchdowns in Ball's absence. Here's a deep strike over the middle to Eric Redmond, starting to get that confidence up, and now Kelly Bryant throwing outside the wrong way to Cordell Hudson yet again. And without Heisman candidate Hank Ball, Syracuse gonna win this one off of Leonard Robinson's big 4 touchdown game. Now NC, we haven't played them yet in this series, but this is not going to be a favorable matchup for them, as we have established one of the fastest, most explosive offenses in the league. That is Lionel Hawkins and all of his 96 speed, 2 touchdowns and 200 plus yards in this game. And here's Lonnie Weber, another guy, 6'5" with a lot of speed. Leonard Robinson, huge air day today, 509, 4 touchdowns. We'll get back to that, but here's Cordell Hudson, 5th interception of the season for him. Hank Ball also had 2 touchdowns, but here's the first touchdown for Lionel Hawkins, 49 yards downfield, make it 35-6 here in the third quarter as Lindell Redmond taking the cap off the defense. And Leonard Robinson and Syracuse's offense is absolutely on fire after last week, and they will just continue that fuego with a second touchdown to Lionel Hawkins here, the redshirt freshman, and Leonard Robinson with 509, 6 touchdowns, able to cement himself in the Heisman race here. And now we're going into a game against Pittsburgh at home. Pittsburgh, one of the best running attacks and offensive lines in football, but defense is a completely different story. Here's Hank Ball on the first play, his first carry, taking it 34 yards on the rush, and then Hank the Tank right up the middle for a touchdown. Now moving to the end of the first, Hall is knocked out, and Walters with the fumble recovery here, and Robinson making it look easy. This is one of his 6 total touchdowns on the game in that 95 speed, gonna outrun absolutely everybody, as he absolutely dominated. It was a close game early, but everybody likes to talk about the kick return game. Here is Lindell Redmond making his best Irvin Phillips impression, and he's going to take this one all the way to the house as it's 35-28 here. And at the end of the half, why not take a shot for Lonnie Weber, give us a 2-possession lead going into the second half, as we are looking to blow this game out of proportion here. And speaking of out of proportion, last play from scrimmage on the game, making it 63-40. Hank the Tank Ball rumbling in for a touchdown, his second on the game, as Robinson yet again scoring 6 touchdowns. Now Wake Forest, this one's just embarrassing. We beat them last year, but this is more than a victory. This is absolute decimation, as Lindell Redmond way downfield, and then Leonard Robinson making it look easy. We're going to get back to him later. 8 total touchdowns on the game for him, as this is Kendall Hilton, another Heisman candidate, and he is getting put flat on his back. That ball's coming out 9 out of 10 times, as here's Lionel Hawkins with a big touchdown on the game. And now Lonnie Weber going right back to him Those were only 2 of Robinson's 6 touchdowns, and Cordell Hudson getting yet another interception, 2 on this game, making it 7 on the season. And now Leonard Robinson going deep, wide open like a Burger King drive-thru. That's Leonard Hawkins yet again. If I'm butchering that name, I'm going to be saying it a lot, so get used to it. Now Devin Butler up the seam. We are putting on a Joe Montana passing clinic here, as Sean Riley, how about that, with the back juke and taking it all the way into the end zone. That was just filthy. And in the first quarter, Leonard Robinson is able to tie his touchdown record as they put up 35 in the first quarter. And now Leonard Robinson, you got to have at least one of these a game. A long 70-plus yard touchdown run for him, one of his 2 rushing touchdowns, and a beautiful fade route to Lonnie Weber, making it look easy. And now Hilton knocked out of the game, and here's Cordell Hudson with another interception. And now Hank the Tank Paul wrapping this one up in for yet another touchdown. 158 and 3 TDs on the game. Here's yet another one, as cover your eyes, 77-21. Leonard Robinson, 8 total touchdowns, and he is going to be the front runner in the Heisman race. Absolute decimation, and him and Hank Ball, both finalists for the Walter Camp, and it's easy to say this is the most prolific offense in NCAA football history, and they're looking to continue their momentum here against NC State. Devin Butler early and often. There's a touchdown for him in the snow, and now Leonard Robinson going deep yet again. Here's Leonard Hawkins. We've said that name enough. He had 2 touchdowns in this game as well. Absolutely exploding in this back half of the season here. Now Leonard Robinson deep yet again to Hawkins, back to back. 96 speed to 97 speed. That is a beautiful combination. And now Whitner with the big hit. We've talked a lot about Cordell Hudson, but Whitner just as impressive. And now Dirty Sanchez picking that one up, taking it back all the way. That one was pretty easy. 34-10, and now the game we've all been waiting for. FSU, a rematch of last year. One of our big wins. They get off to a big early start here, and we are not going to let that happen. Going deep to Lonnie Weber downfield, 34 yards for the touchdown. Now Robinson up the seam to Devin Butler for a 10-yard reception. We are coming back from 14 points. It's a tie game now. And now Dirty Sanchez with the big hit, laying the wood. And Cordell Hudson gets his 8th interception on the season right after that, as Leonard Robinson scoring yet another touchdown. He had 4 total in this game, and he ties the school record for passing touchdowns in the season. We'll see if he can break that, as here he dumps it off to Hank the Tank Ball, and Hank the Tank Ball doing work for him, and that is going to be the record for Leonard Robinson, as Syracuse going to take this game 38-24 after a 14-point comeback early in that game. But we got a big game coming up. It's Maryland versus Syracuse, a big rivalry game. If you didn't see this game last season, well, I got a surprise for you guys. Syracuse, it looks like they have won this game. It's a 3-point game. Henderson, nothing left to do except throw bombs like World War II. It is going to be Jacobs with his 2nd touchdown, the 6th overall for Henderson. And folks, this is a disappointing way to end this. 9 seconds left. There's nothing they can do. They both put the ball into Irvin Phillips' hands, and he takes the road less traveled. Irvin Phillips breaking this open as time expires like Deshaun Jackson, and Irvin Phillips has won this ball game for Syracuse in dramatic fashion, everybody. So in our last meeting, it was a Legion of Nerds football classic, and here's Hank the Tank Ball getting all of the blocks he needs and going all the way to the house. It was another back and forth type of contest here. Leonard Robinson going to Lonnie Weber here, extending the lead to 2 possessions. Maryland would go down and score a touchdown, and then Lonnie Weber would make it a 2-possession game yet again. And then Keelan Whitner with the interception here to seal off the game. 1 minute left in the 4th quarter, and Syracuse will be able to win this football game. But Leonard Robinson, just for the fun of it, going to take a shot to Lonnie Weber in play of the year right here. Tips off of him. He does a hurdle out of surprise, and Lonnie Weber takes this all the way to the house. Now, it's not often that I'm going to show you guys a replay, but in this situation, I'm going to go ahead and show you because it tips off of the defensive back and him. He just jumps, and he has the speed to take that all the way. That is your Syracuse play of the year right there, as we win 45-24. That is an undefeated regular season, as Leonard Robinson is pretty much the Heisman front runner, and he's probably a lock at this point to win that award. But we earned ourselves a spot in the conference championship game against Georgia Tech, as Leonard Robinson handed off to Hank the Tank Ball. and he's going to take this one all the way down inside the 35 to start off, and then Leonard Robinson going to cap off what he started. 9 yards on the touchdown. That was his first of 4 on the game. Quite uneventful, honestly. He's going to find Trey Dunkelberger down the field here as GT takes a lead 14-7, and then Leonard Robinson just going to waltz in for the touchdown, his second rushing score of the game already. And then he's going to find his man. That's going to be Devin Butler getting outside in a foot race, and the big wide receiver breaks it outside. Lots of speed at receiver this season. That was really what this team was built around, and Leonard Robinson was perfect for this type of offense as he has speed, obviously, himself. This was a big game and a big win, 35-21 over GT. We hoist the ACC Football Championship trophy off of Leonard Robinson's 4 touchdowns, and believe it or not, that is enough to win him the Heisman, with Hank Ball in 4th place, and he just absolutely dominates Keyshawn Martin for that. And we had a total of 20 All-Americans, and we are leading for the second straight season in total All-Americans, with quite a few first-teamers and 8 freshmen All-American. Some of them are repeats, however, so keep that in mind as we go into the national championship game against the Bruins. For it all right here, number 1 Syracuse against number 2 UCLA. And this was a big game. Hank the Tank Ball, pretty much the star of the show in this one, scoring 3 touchdowns. He started off strong here. 7-0 Syracuse here. And now on 4th down and inches, we get the stop. And Josh Rosen, a fellow Heisman candidate, is unable to do anything. And now Leonard Robinson running, of course, that speed option against a tough defense. Out to Hank Ball. He's just going to plow his way forward for a first down. And then giving it back to Hank the Tank Ball for a 1-yard touchdown. Because why not? But Josh Rosen going to give it to Jamabo. And then the All-American Sanchez Sanders both voted to the first team. And the freshman All-American team, as well as the winner of the Benarch Award, cannot catch Jamabo, as UCLA is able to get on the board here. But now 3rd down and goal, throwing from the 1 like the Seahawks, but it pays off. Rosen to Theo Howard on that rub slant in the end zone. That's far too ironic. They take the lead, and now it's Leonard Robinson time. Robinson hit as he throws, but going to find Lonnie Weber, who is able to plow through everybody and get down inside the 40-yard line. Now clock ticking down to 2:15. Robinson going to find Hawkins inside, and he's going to get down to the 1-yard line. Now inside 2 minutes, giving it to Hank Ball, juking inside, and another 1-yard touchdown for him. 3 on the game. He is your player of the game here, but they do not want just that touchdown. They want to go for a 2-point conversion to make it a 4-point game. What a gutsy call, but it pays off. And now Rosen and co. on 1st down and 10. Rosen throws a terrible duck. It's intercepted by Carl Jones, and the Syracuse Orangemen are your national championship winners. And what a wild ride it was. A 12-0 season, make that 14-0. They have not lost since week 3 of last year in Leonard Robinson's freshman year, and throughout the process, they established the best offense of all time. Now, we will go more into stats and schedule in the offseason live stream. I'm really hoping to see everybody there. We have a great recruiting class about to come in. I'm pretty sure we're not going to make any more videos, and that's why I decided to make this video like this. There's more on that later. However, I'm Jack, and I'm signing out.